things you learn from your mom. I mean, think about like the foresight you got from your mom, right? The foresight of, hey, make sure you put on clean underwear before you go out, just in case you get into an accident. Right? That's important, right? And then there's the maturity where it says, the maturity part where they tell us, hey, make sure you eat your vegetables or you'll never grow up. Right? Some of you need to do a better job eating your vegetables. Chandler, come on. Right? Right? They taught you about faith. Right? They taught you about faith. They said, man, you better pray that comes out of the carpet. Right? Pray that comes out. They taught you about time travel. They said, if you don't straighten up, I'll knock you in the next year. How about the contradictions they taught you? Shut up and eat your dinner. Right? Did it? Shut your mouth, eat your dinner. Right. I got it. How about contortionism? You look at the dirt on the back of your neck. How about perseverance? You're going to sit here till every bit of the bottom is gone. Right? Genetics, just like your father. Weather, they taught us about weather, how to identify weather. And when they walked in the room, they said, man, it looks like a tornado here.
That's right.
And then if you're Michelle Hunter, my wife, with our kids, she taught us about the circle of life. She taught our kids about the circle of life. She says, look, I brought you into this world and I'll take you out. What would we do without our moms? It's safe to say we'd be lost without them. The role of a mother, it's critical. It's critical in our proper development. Right? Just having a mom. Mom who cares about us, mom who loves us, mom who's always there for us. A child without a mom is like a door without a knob. It just won't work. As I look at Norman, I just think of your mom. What an amazing mom you have. I got to be Norma's mom's pastor for the last month of her life. And what an amazing lesson I've learned just from being around such a godly woman. Eve, though, if you go back in the Bible, we all look back at Eve and we all think about what Eve did wrong, right? Yeah. But you ever look back at your mom and look at what she did wrong? Never, right? But Eve, if you think about it, was the first mom in the Bible. In fact, her name means mother-in-law. So we have to look back on that and stop focusing on what she did wrong and focus on what her purpose was. Her purpose was to birth humanity. And here we are because of Eve. So we're a descendant of Adam. We should be thankful. Right? Sarah, I love this because, you know, if we look at Sarah, she was 90 years old. And Abraham and her were just cruising through life. God spoke to her and said, you're going to give birth to a child. Now, you know she laughed. You know Abraham laughed, right? And she gave birth to Isaac when she was 90 years old, which I know you just turned 91, Gabby. So it's not over till it's over. Hey man, she got her dancing knees back on. She got healed up in here a few months ago. She's kicking her legs like a young cheerleader. She's ready to get down. If she's taking you with her, Sam, you imagine that? Because I know your knees got healed too. So can we just have fun today? Just have fun with this. Normally, you know, I preach really hard. And I preach transformation and identity and just really walking these things out. But really today I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to speak truth and really honor the moms who are here. Okay? Is that cool? You good with that? All right. So in Genesis 17:19, God replies, he says to Abraham, you know, Sarah, your wife, will give birth to a son for you. You will name him Isaac, and I will confirm my covenant with him and his descendants, and he'll have an everlasting covenant. That covenant will still last to this day. And what I love about this is God is not looking at Sarah as he looks at every woman. He looks at it like this. He looks at it, he's not looking at their inability or their disability, but he's looking at the possibilities of their availability. Come on, did you get that? Ladies, did you hear that? He's not looking at what you think might be your inability or your disability. God only sees the possibility of your availability. A guy sat across from us, and he was a guest of one of my visitors on the show. He was a visitor of one of the guests. And he looked at Michelle and I, and he told me, no, I don't know this guy. What was his name? Like Snickers or something? He had like some weird, funky name, so I was already going, what? But he told me this. He said, Tommy, God just in this moment, this is 30 seconds really going on there. He said, God told me this. He said, you're going to be a father to many. Holy Spirit hit me. I just started weeping because I didn't know how to take that. I had no idea that we were even going to birth this church. Which means if I'm going to be a father of many, that means my wife apparently is going to be a mother of many. And as most of you know, she's a mother to most of you, if you're a woman in this place, right? Even if you're, you know what's crazy is that even outside of this place, all of the women that Michelle counsels, it's because God was not looking at the drug dealer she used to be, or the gun runner, or the dope addict, or any of that stuff. He wasn't looking at her inability. He wasn't even looking at the disability. He only saw the possibility of her availability.
Right.
And she makes herself available to other women, not only in this church, but to all over the world. And she ministers to people all over the world. I'm excited to see God moving in her life. Because she's just such an available woman. Because she's got such a heart for God and what He's doing. So, I respect you and I honor you as a mom to so many. Because, you know, in this father, being a father to many, I couldn't do it without you being a mother to many. Thank you. It says this about Sarah. Again, this great woman, right? This great mom. It says it was by faith that even Sarah was able to have a child. Though she was barren and was too old, she believed God at His promise. But He came in and He stayed. And because of His faith, and the faith that He just released over into His family, His mom is sitting in our church. She actually is on our worship team. She got saved. Her husband gets saved. Their marriage gets right. All this stuff. And now she's a proud mom knowing that I'm training her son to be a pastor one of these days. He's been here and he's preached. And here's a proud mama. And I remember just a few weeks ago she said, Miguel, when are we going to preach again? It's coming, don't worry. But you're so excited to see God moving in his life, right? Nothing greater than that. To see just our kids running after God. Chandler, I imagine your mom, when you couldn't do the things for yourself. Pain of labor, the daily routines, sacrificing their own physical needs. And I know there's some single moms in here that you'd rather feed your kids than you would, or you were a single mom at one point, and you were feeding your kids versus you eating, right? It's the sacrifice of a mom. It's a mom's heart to make sure that our kids are always taken care of. There's all the emotional stuff, right? No one has more of an emotional investment than a mom. Think about this. Think about when we break their hearts by the things that we do and say. You hurt as a mom. You hurt when your children hurt. Even when we are trying to learn to ride a bike and we skin our knee. And you see that anguish and pain on us, right? You feel that. Because you have an emotional investment in us. You birthed us. Times when you see that the gain is less than what's really happening. You see, it's just not happening with your son's life or your daughter's life the way you planned it out for them. You want the best for them, and it's not happening. It's that emotional attachment thing. We're always wanting God's best. And then there's the spiritual part of it where moms are always want the best. You know, they want to bring up somehow, whether it's in church or whether it's teaching on the Bible or whatever it is. And I'm just assuming that most moms want that. But the Bible says this. It says that in these last days, that's not going to happen. Because mothers are out doing their own thing. They're only worried about themselves. That's the day and age we're in. But as I look around, I see moms who that doesn't apply to, and that's almost all of you. Not all of you. Because you're here today. Which means you actually have an investment, and you have a spiritual need and want for your kids. I don't know if you guys know this or not, But a dad in a kid's life, daily, 7.5 minutes a day investment, that's it. Not every dad, but that's the average investment of a dad. A mom is the rest of the time. We gotta honor our moms today. Make sure, maybe your mom's not here, maybe she's across town, maybe she's across the United States, maybe your mom has passed away, I don't know. Man, find a way to honor your mom today. Grace. Moms are just the closest, I believe moms are the closest example of God's grace. It's that undeserving favor, it's that undeserving love. It's all of the above, right? It's so undeserving, but yet mom, it's in them when they give it. You know, a mom will lose her patience, her temper, sometimes even their minds, okay? But she'll never lose her grace. Never, never, ever loses her gratefulness. They have a sense of forgiveness and graciousness that never, ever goes away. That's what I call it, an endless love. Moms always have an endless love, even to their dying day, their last breath. They're still, what about my kids? And the key ingredient of all these other qualities of a godly mother or a mother in general is just love. God has gifted you with the love that He has. It's this unconditional, just deep-rooted love for us as their parents. So when we look at our moms, whether they're saved or not, God planted this in them. So it's in them. Man, on the streets yesterday and on 2nd Street, just happened to be walking by him, and God just grabbed me and said, I want you to pray for this guy. And as I knelt down and started praying for him, his name was Frankie. And the guy who led me to Christ, his name was Frank. So that name holds a really special place in me. And I just saw that God was pursuing him and pursuing him. Because God is still not giving up on him. And I'm not sure what you came in here with today, but God is still pursuing you. Why? Because He radically loves you. And we walk around thinking all the negative, and we think about, well, God's mad at me. God's not mad at you. God's crazy about you. He loves you. His patience endures, motivates and develops the rest of the love that's in their life. Without it in their life would be incomplete. Love. And you know that we're Concrete City Church is a church that does what? Love. That's it right there. Thank you. We love all and we serve all. It's our mission statement. It's simple to the point. But man, we understand that love is the most conquering tool and weapon that we have. Because it'll win every single time. Think about it. When your mom comes to you in a loving way, doesn't that just win you over? You can be the biggest jerk to her, and then she just breaks out love, and you're like, right? Spend some time with mom today. Okay? But here's 7 ways that I believe you can love your mom. You can love her verbally. Simple, I love you. That's it, I love you. 3 words, complete power. Powerful. The most powerful words I believe you can never speak to somebody. I love you. You hear me all the time. I'll tell you every day. Some of you, I don't know that well, but I'll still tell you, I love you, because I do. I meet people on the street and I say, I love you. You don't even know me. I go, I know, isn't that crazy? God just put a love in me for you that I can't explain. Man, what an amazing God we have. Love her physically. Give mom a hug. Give her a kiss. It's okay. I don't care how big you are. I'll be 47 years old in November. I still kiss my mom. Tell her I love her. And you know what? She's just now, for the first time in my life, after 40-something years, just now telling me she loves me. Persevere. She taught me. Right? But God taught me even better just to love her regardless, to have unconditional love. Love her patiently. 1 Corinthians 13:4 says, love is patient and it's kind. Be patient with your mom. My mom, I remember when I was a teenager, my fellows would come, they'd roll up in the car, and I'd run out the front door, I'd go to get in their car, and she would just stop me and want to talk to me about something else. All my guys there. I'm like, didn't understand how to love her patiently then. But my mom was just saying, just in case it's the last time I talk, just in case, I just want to tell you, hey, I'm thinking about you. I just want to say one more word to you. Because think about it. If I would have gone out, and that would have been it, that life would have been over. And I wouldn't have given her that time. I would have wrecked her for a long time, right? But at least she had to love me for the last words. You gotta be patient. Stop what we're doing. Listen to what Mom says. Give her the time. She deserves it. She gave you life. Amen. Love her attentively. This is what I call payback time. When Mom wants to sit and talk to you, or she wants to call you, and she just wants to talk about the weather, listen about the weather. Because like Norma can no longer talk to her mom ever again until she gets to heaven. Wouldn't you turn the call back if you could? Just to have your mom. We talk to Norma all the time. She's like, I just miss my mom today. And I actually miss her mom too. She was an amazing woman. But man, to have that, your mom's gone. Give her the attention that you can, every second you can. She deserves it. She gave you attention all the time. When you were snot-nosing all over the place, pooping your diaper all over the place, right? All up your back and all over her car. Is there a mom in here who doesn't know that one? Throwing up all over her after she just got dressed, trying on 6 different outfits for the day? Attention, man. Look, my mom wants to talk about everything under the sun. You know what I do? Just listen. Because I never know when it's going to be the last time I get to talk to my mom. I had a lady in my life who was my aunt, who was my mom's sister. She was just like my mom, too. And I remember the very last month that she was alive. Tell your mom, just if you left her today, you said, Mom, I just want to thank you for being such an amazing mom. Oh, that's great, thank you. No, Mom, you know what? Let me give you some things. Man, you gave birth to me, wiped my snotty nose, cleaned my crappy butt. All the things. Just start walking through all the things you provided for me. You made sure I had this. You made sure you just be thankful, be grateful. I believe that if we do all these things and we become love like this, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll become love and we'll show our moms the most amazing love. Because for years and years and years they've shown it to us. Love her generously. And that can come in many different ways. When you think about buying your mom a gift, buy her a gift. Don't just, well, that's on sale, that's on clearance, or let me just get away with it. I went to the store this morning and I bought all the mom's flowers. And I see these guys running in, last minute, or the ladies, buying the $3 thing of flowers. Right? Nothing wrong with it. They bought her something. I was looking, I was like, that's awesome. I love mom generously. Like, be generous. Like, get the bouquet, man. Like, hook mom up. You know what I mean? Take her to lunch. Spend the day with her. All the different ways that we can love our moms. It's their day today, not yours. It's your day to just, Mom, what do you want to do? Let's go. It's not our agenda, it's not our plan. It's theirs. And lastly, I believe we need to love our moms honorably.